flow for you to help you build strength to get to the harder parts in the flow. So remember, you don't want to just jump right to the end and try to do the hard part. Everything takes time to build up to, so you want to build up to it and do these things to try to build up to the harder parts, and it makes everything flow and make it easier. And always warm up first. I'm not going to put warm-ups in this breakdown, but please warm up before you start to try any of these things. Do at least 10 sun salutations. And when we get to the inversion part, don't try to do the inversion part if inversions aren't in your practice. Don't try to start doing inversions at home by yourself, watching a video explain it to you. Wait till the studio's open back up and have a teacher assist you and teach you the proper way to get inversions. Inversions are very dangerous. I can't stress that enough, to have a teacher help assist you to learn inversions. Don't do them at home with a video. Okay? All right, so we're going to start with a sun salé. We're going to break down the float back, and we're just going to kind of go through the sun salé a couple times to take us through the float back. So inhale up, exhale forward fold. We're giving you 2 points of view here, so hopefully you can see it well. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, planting the hands shoulder widths apart. Make sure the fingers are spread, and then take the knees to the back of the triceps and start to get into little chaturanga arms and get into what I call a little baby crow. And maybe you just start there, and then just take one leg and take it and set it back, and then take the other leg back. So one leg at a time, and then go through a little flow and step it forward. Okay, if one leg's no problem, if you can take one leg back and set it down like that, then move on. Inhale up, exhale, inhale, half lift, exhale, plant the hands again, shoulder widths apart, come into a little baby crow. Maybe try taking one knee off, tap it to the other knee, take it back. One knee off, tap it to the other knee, take it back. Set it down, step it back, or jump it back like she did. She being Deborah. Step it back forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands again. This time we're going to take both feet back. So take it to a little baby crow. Bring both knees to the center. And then slowly take it back and set it down. The slower the better. We're trying to lessen the impact on the shoulders. So we land in chaturanga, not in plank, and we try to take the feet back as slow as possible. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Hands to heart center. So try those steps to help you start working back towards the float back. There's no problem just stepping back into plank and going in chaturanga. It's part of the flow, but if you want to try float back, try that. And then stepping forward to the hands. So step back into downward facing dog. Everybody's favorite thing is to take the leg way up here, swing it forward, lift the hand up, and set the foot down. Okay, all you did was use momentum. You used no core strength. You didn't use anything to get there except for momentum. So, what you want to do is just as you step forward, we're not swinging the legs up. The foot's going to go from the ground up to my hand, and I'm not lifting this hand up. Okay? I'm just stepping up and setting it down. My hand didn't lift up. What this does is build core strength, flexibility, and then as I step the other foot forward, look, both hands are flat on the ground. Then I'm stepping the other foot down. Then half lift, forward fold, inhale to rise. Now, if you can't step your foot forward to your hands, you're never going to be able to float forward, okay? Because look, if I can only step my hand to right here, because that's all I'm flexible enough to do, and that's no problem. If you can only step to there, step your foot to there, then take the other foot and walk it up. There's no problem with that. Just get to where both feet are up there. You don't have to do one step, but you're working on your flexibility. But look, on a float back, if I can't step my feet to my hands, when I go to float up, all I'm doing is using momentum to get there, and I'm going to hurt my back because I'm trying to ask more flexibility from my body than I have. So really work on keeping your hands flat and getting your feet stepped up there first. And then on the float forward, you can use your core, float it, and just set it down nice and easy right where you want your feet to be. All right. On the next one, we're going to go to Malasana squat. It's part of our flow. So come into Malasana squat. And then if you can be here, great. Some people have to be up a little bit on their heels. They can't let their heels touch the ground. But really, then just stay here. Don't take it any further. Until you can get into Malasana squat with your heels on the ground, this is where you want to be. Once you can get your heels on the ground, turn your feet forward and start to slowly walk your feet together. Eventually, you can get your feet together and your heels on the ground and your chest to your knees. Now, a good way to practice this is against a wall to keep you from falling over, because the tendency is once you put your heels down is to fall over. So it's great to practice it against a wall or practice it with the heels up and then slowly let the heels go down. And then the next thing you want to do from here is with the heels down, you want to just tap your butt and then sit back up. And then tap your butt and sit back up. And if that's easy, you're like, oh, no problem. Take your arms out to the side. Bring them parallel to your shoulders. Parallel to your shoulders. And then tap your butt. And don't move your arms forward. And sit back up. And then tap the butt. And sit back up. Looks pretty easy, right? So then take your hands. Take them behind you. Still try to keep that balance. And as a strength builder, stand up. Forward fold. Still using that clasp. Sit back down without falling over.
Or you can fall over.
And if you really want to take it to the next level, which is beyond my level, tap the butt with your hands behind your back. And then try to sit back up with your hands behind your back. Very, very difficult. We're building on that. And then from here, when we go into Sun Sal Bs or Sun Sal Zs, so inhale up, Utkatasana, and just to hint on Utkatasana. So you notice how I bring my arms from here instead of here. It's a total different rotation in your shoulders, so just try the difference. So if you're used to bringing them up here, and you're like, oh, my arms are stuck, I can't get them any further back. Bring them up from the side and see how much more parallel to your shoulders they come. Totally different rotation in your elbow joint, shoulder joints. And then bring the hands to heart center. Let the heels come up. Sink down to here. Let the heels drop. Bring the hands to the ground. And once again, this is going to involve an inversion. So if you're not used to doing inversions, don't do the inversions. I'm about a foot back on my mat. So I'm going to come into a little crow. Then I'm going to press really hard into my fingertips and bring the crown of the head to the ground, nice and soft. If you can't do it soft, put a pillow there and just practice doing that. Then I'm taking it up to tripod. Then I'm taking it to tripod pike. Then pass pike, and then rotate it into Chaturanga. Nice. See, notice how the head came up before the feet touched the ground. So you really have to press into those arms and get the head off the ground before the feet reach the ground. And since we're down here, we'll go ahead, find our way to our butt for one of the more fun rocket moves that people really enjoy. Grab your blocks.
This is not fun.
Put a block on each side of your right leg or left. Pressing lightly into the block. I'm not hammering into the block. I'm not leaning forward. I'm trying to keep my back fairly straight. Legs straight, fingertips, and then I'm just gonna pick that right foot up off the ground and bring it back down, tap the heel, and up and down. And I'm just gonna do that, try to doing that 10 times. Every time I do it, I inhale my belly towards my spine to start using my core instead of my leg. And then I switch sides. And up it goes. Once again, I'm leaning forward, drawing my belly towards my spine, trying to use my core, not just my leg. If you feel it right here in your hip flexor, that means you need to try to switch and use the core more. Then I spread the blocks, bring my feet together. That relieves, gets a stretch there and relieves any discomfort you might feel by trying to do that. You said, well, why do we do that? What are we building? Well, then we put our blocks back on our right side. And then step one, we just pick our butt up. That's it. Only 2% of the population on the planet can pick their butt up off the ground. So if you just do that, if you just press in and lift up, you're doing awesome. 2% of the population. Then maybe you clap your feet. If you can clap your feet, that's 1% of the population. Then bring the leg through, take it up, and go into the arm balance. Bring it back through, spread it, and sit back down. All in steps. Step one, butt up. Step two, clap the feet. Step three, take it through. And set it down. Do what? Do the other side. Everybody usually has the right side easier for some reason than the left. So pick it up, clap the feet. Clapping the feet gets you in position. Look, now I just slide my leg through, up into position, back through, and set it down. Then I'm going to lay down on my back. Hopefully you can still see us. Okay, now put your hands on your belly. And now just lift your head up. Feel that core engagement. Feel how much muscle you're using just lifting your head up. So if you're home during this quarantine, watching TV, or just hanging out in the living room, lay down on the ground, lift your head up. Believe me, you do this for 20 minutes, you're building huge core strength. See how long you can actually just hold your head up off the mat. You're going to build a lot of core strength just holding the head up. And if you're like, oh, that's no problem, I can do it for 20 minutes. Well, then bring the hands down, lift the feet up. Give you a little angle. Lift the feet up and the head. Getting the shoulder blades and head up. And just hang out there. Hang out here for 20, 30 minutes. Maybe get a bowl, eat a little snack, because your hand's free. So you can just, you read a book, take your block, take it up, whatever. Just hang out here. You can put your hands here and you can feel your core engaged. Core's really got to engage to stay here. So this is a great exercise if you're just hanging out, doing nothing. Then bring the knees in, get a little stretch. Another, trying to work that core. So we're going to bring our blocks beside us. Going to bring the knees in towards the chest. And once again, we're just going to press into those blocks and pick our butt up. That's huge. If you can just do that, you're doing awesome. You're strengthening your shoulders, strengthening your arms, just picking your butt up. If you want to take it to the next, pick the butt up. Maybe pick the feet off the ground. Just keep the knees to the chest, just pick them off the ground. And hold up. And tap it down. If that's easy, you're like, no problem. Pick the butt up, pick the feet up, take the legs out straight, bring them back in, set it down. If that's easy, leave the legs out straight first. Pick the butt up and pick the feet up. And set it down, or you can do one at a time. You say, why do we do this? Well, it builds a lot of core strength, and once you can bring the legs in, pick the butt up, you can start swinging through, which is going to help you for your jump throughs. So that's another one. Just come into boat. You're here. Cross your foot over your leg. Press into your blocks. Pick it up. Just swing it through. Swing it back and set it down. That exercise will start helping you build the strength to get your jump throughs. Or maybe you're going Once again, don't try inversions from a video, especially this one. If somebody's there, once the teachers get back in the studio, have somebody assist you, teach you how to do it. I'm not going to break it down because I don't want you to try doing it at home by yourself. But once you build the strength, you can press in, swing through, take it up, bring it back, and set it down.
Or you can just watch that.
Now in the flows where we go and use handstand as a transition, another thing, just as normal things you start to do in your flow. If you notice, when I get up and down from the mat, I don't use my hands. So start practicing always getting up and down off the mat without using your hands. It's good practice. It'll build the strength, start to build your balance, and that way, when you get really old, we've all seen those commercials, I've fallen and I can't get up. Hopefully this will help you always be able to get back up. So in the transitions, in the warrior sequence, we always say we're in warrior 2. You can windmill the hands down, plant the hands, and just hop switch. So we hop switch to the other side. Set the foot and come back up. And warrior 2 on the other side. If you want to use the inversions to do it, you can be in warrior 2, windmill it down, plant the hands, take it up, switch legs, and bring the other one down, and end up warrior 2 on the other side. Either way is fine. A hop switch can be just as difficult as the inversion, but if you're in your practice and you're practicing core strength, you can practice that move. There was a good shoulder strength builder and a good way to warm up the shoulders. So come into tabletop, drop to your forearms, and then take your nose out past the thumb. So I'm out and back, out, and maybe all the way to child's pose. Really stretching those shoulders out. Up and back. Back all the way, stretching the shoulders out, up and back. Do that 5 to 10 times before you try the next step. So once you've done that, then tuck the toes, straighten the legs, go into dolphin. And then same thing, tap that nose and bring it back. Tap the nose and bring it back. One more, tap the nose and bring it back. Drop to the knees, take child's pose, rest the shoulders, stretch the shoulders back out. Those are building towards, you should have enough strength in your shoulders to do dolphin push-ups before you do forearm stand. If you can't do a dolphin push-up, you're going to end up dropping into your shoulders and causing injury in forearm stand more than you are helping yourself in building strength. So try those first before you go into forearm stand. And then for forearm stand, you can turn towards the wall if you want, or I'm going to turn towards the wall because we're going to do the same push-ups. And usually trying to do the forearm stand, if you have it really well, once you start trying to do the push-ups, it gets a little bit more difficult. So go into forearm stand. And then same push-ups. I'm going to move my nose, push my thumbs, and back up. Usually the back up part's where the balance, keeping your balance tries to come in, because it's a big shift in those shoulders. It's okay if your foot taps the wall, especially first trying to build that strength and build that balance. So that's some of the breakdowns for some of the transitions in our flows. I hope that helps, and we're going to shoot a flow next. So try to use those strength builders and working on your flow. Be safe, wash your hands.